Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is of course something that I normally don't do, but I've sort of been doing it a bit. Not a lot though. Yes, I just got back from Aladdin. It is dark around me a bit because it's like 9 p.m. here, but I wanted to talk about it because I love Aladdin. Aladdin is one of my all-time favorite movies. It is a part of my childhood. Yes, I'm that old. But I want to talk about the good and the bad of Aladdin. And of course, guys, there are spoilers. I'm also thinking about doing this about the final episode of Game of Thrones because I have so much to say about that. Anyway, Aladdin. So let's talk about how it starts. Again, spoilers. Will Smith starts as Will Smith, sort of kind of on a boat, you know how regular Aladdin starts, where it's actually the genie, not the blue genie, but the genie saying, let me tell you about a story, and, his French fry stuff. That doesn't happen in this one. The key thing before I say anything, is if you're looking for old school Aladdin, you're going to be disappointed. This is not old school Aladdin. There's some parts of it in it, and the story is about the same, but this is not nostalgic Aladdin. And some of the parts will take you back, but it's not that. So, yes, the movie starts out with human Will Smith. And it started out kind of weird. It was kind of weird. I was like, this is different. And I wasn't quite sure. I don't know. It just started out weird. Maybe it wasn't bad acting or nothing like that. It was just like something was plopped there, sort of. And then it went into the story. So we go straight from there. He's going to tell these kids a story. And we go into Agrabah. And one thing that was completely left out was the fact that Princess Jasmine wanted to leave the palace and see what's outside of the doors. They just kind of dropped her into the market. So you're just like, oh, there's the princess kind of walking about. And if you don't know the story of the cartoon, you're like, oh, okay, there's this woman. So you don't know it's the princess. It's this woman who is just kind of walking about. And before that, Aladdin is stealing because that's what he does, and to get some food and all that stuff. And he sings his song, but the songs are kind of jammed in, sort of, and they're not sung smoothly like it is in the cartoon, where it kind of builds up to the song. It kind of just happens, and you're like, oh, this is my song, gotta eat to live, gotta live to eat, and it's they kind of talk through some of the songs, which I really don't like that, where they kind of did that in Beauty and the Beast a little bit. Emma Watson did that a little bit in Beauty and the Beast, where I felt they did that because her voice wasn't, she didn't have the voice per se to hit the notes that the singer for the original Beauty and the Beast did. I believe the original singer was like a soprano, and Emma Watson, I didn't believe she was a soprano. So, that can be difficult. But in this movie, back to Aladdin, I have so many thoughts. I'm telling you my thoughts just off the cuff, guys. This is literally me walking in the house, sitting down here, and like, I need to talk about this movie. So yes, they just plop the princess. I said plop her because she basically is just there. You don't have any background on her yet. And he saves her and rescues her from, the whole stealing thing, but they don't use the whole, oh, this is my sister and she's crazy. They don't do that at all. And he saves her and all that stuff. And, they learn about each other a little bit. The story is a little bit different, but that's okay. However, as the story goes along and, he thinks that she's the handmaiden of the princess because, oh, I see you have silk that only comes from here and it goes straight to the palace, but it doesn't go to servants. You must be a higher level servant because you have this type of silk, and your bracelet is really expensive. So he puts two and two together and thinks she's a high level servant to the princess and not actually the princess. And so he tells her a little bit about his life. She says a little bit about her life, and then she gets back to the palace. And one thing that hit me was the fact that so the whole reveal of her being the princess does not happen. You know how in the cartoon where she goes, I demand you release him by order of the princess. That does not happen at all. She just gets back to the palace. She goes back but thinks that he's a thief, that he stole and kept her bracelet. And so, yeah. So anyway, she gets back to the palace, and somehow, suddenly, the story goes into she wants to be sultan. And I'm all for women empowerment and having strong women. It was just weird. I felt like her wanting to be sultan just was kind of jammed in for a woman empowerment moment. Like, she can be king and queen and sultan just like any man, which is true, but the story, there wasn't enough background for me to just believe that she wanted to be sultan, especially coming from the cartoon Aladdin, and how she just wanted to get out of the palace and live her own life. And it's not bad that she wanted power as well in this story. It's just that it didn't seem to fit. I don't know. That's just me. So that was the whole movie, though, of her trying to some extent, tell her father that, you know, I can be a ruler. I love the people, and I can rule, and I can be sultan, and I don't have to, you know, marry or what have you, etc. It wasn't jammed over your head, but every time it kept coming up, it was like, yeah, it just didn't fit to me. So, the good part. So the first 30 minutes of the movie, it wasn't slow, but it was kind of just, okay, we're getting a feel for Aladdin and Princess Jasmine and their chemistry. They did amazing CGI work on the tiger. Raja was amazing. I should go get my little baby Raja that I got while I was in Tokyo Disneyland. I'm going to do that. Not Tokyo Disneyland, Tokyo Disney Sea. I'm going to do that. Hold on a second. Baby Raja, guys. From Tokyo Disney Sea. I love this. When I saw it, I just totally fell in love. Right? So cute. Anyway, back to the story. The genie does not come in until 30 minutes into the movie. And you can see the chemistry between Aladdin and Princess Jasmine, the characters, the actors who are playing them. There's some chemistry. I think he looks just like the Aladdin. The difference between Princess Jasmine in the cartoon and this movie is I felt like cartoon Princess Jasmine was, I have my own mind and I want to be my own person, and I want you just to let me live my life and marry who I want to marry. That's just basic human want. Whereas this Princess Jasmine was, I want to be sultan and I want to be able to rule and do what I want to do. So a different level, which I don't want to say it wasn't, not that she wasn't relatable, it was just different. Yeah, different. I felt like the movie started when Will Smith came in as the genie, and yeah. Oh, by the way, guys, the Cave of Wonder does not appear. They don't do a CGI Cave of Wonder where it appears and it starts talking. No, it just kind of lights up. It kind of lights up, and then they kind of go past the part of the person who is wrong for the Cave of Wonder, and the cave just kind of goes down and clamps him in. It's not, yeah, it doesn't disappear or nothing like that. It's, when it's talking, its face is kind of just lighting up. eyes are lighting. Wasn't bad, but I think that would have been cool if it did talk. So the genie comes in, and I thought it was going to be weird. I'm not going to lie. Based on the stuff that I saw, I was like, oh man, I'm not sure if I'm going to see Will as the genie. Will Smith as the genie was literally the best part of the movie. And my husband said something amazing. He said, well, I said, what did you think? He goes, the genie kind of was the standout thing in the movie. And that's how it was in Aladdin, the cartoon. Robin Williams' genie was just the standout. He was kind of shoved into the movie, and everything kind of, you waited for him to come back on the screen. And that was the same thing with this Aladdin movie. I was waiting for Will Smith to come back on the screen because he was just so good. It was excuse me. It was brilliant. I thought that he brought his own, way to the part. I'm a Will Smith fan. I think he's an amazing actor, but from the previews that I saw, I was like, oh no, I'm not sure if he's gonna be good for this. Like, it wasn't looking good to me. But after seeing it, yes, Will Smith was the movie. Like, his genie was so good. I laughed. I wasn't thinking about how Robin Williams would have done it. I wasn't thinking about, oh, I wish Robin Williams was doing it. And I think that's what you want it to be when you kind of reintroduce a character, because that's kind of what was happening. He had to make it his own because Robin Williams was amazing. So yeah, he came in and I loved him as the genie. That was the best part of the movie. So when I say the good and the bad of the movie Aladdin, the good was the genie. The bad probably was, the biggest bad for me was the fact that as you're going through the movie, the songs just were kind of pushed in and it didn't flow well. It didn't flow well. I wish the movie flowed better because it didn't. Like, there's a new song called Speechless, and the woman who plays Jasmine, beautiful voice. And I think it worked when she did the song, in the beginning of the movie, Jafar tells her that you should be seen and not heard. And so, of course, it goes into this song called Speechless, which makes sense. But at the end of the movie, she just breaks out into this song when Jafar is Sultan, and Jafar does not turn into a snake, guys. There is no countdown to when Jasmine is going to die, so there's none of that. But Aladdin does do the part where he says, oh, I'm going so out of order with this movie, but I have so many thoughts. I'm sorry, guys, I'm talking so fast. But Aladdin does do the part where, no, the genie can give you your power and he can take it away, and so that's how Jafar becomes a genie. But she starts singing this song out of nowhere when Jafar tells the guards to seize her. And she calls out and she starts singing and everybody disappears. And then into this long, it has to be like 2, 3, 4 minutes. It feels long and it doesn't fit to me. Then she tells the guard to choose to be on the right side or bad side. One of my favorite parts is not just Will's song when he rubs the lamp. He's like, so who's behind you? Who's the guy in charge? Look, little fella or kid, who's the guy in charge? And of course, the guy who is supposed to be in charge is Jafar, because he's like, there's somebody who wants all the money and all the power and, and all that stuff. But my favorite parts are, the good parts all have to do with the genie, to be honest. Even when they do a whole new world, I think it's lovely. It doesn't feel the same as the cartoon, which is fine. But to be honest, I was just waiting for when the genie could come back on the scene. And my favorite parts are with the genie. Number one, when he rubs the lamp and the genie does his song, it's a different song, it's a different flavor, or should I say flavor? There is some flavor in there. It's Will Smith. I mean, there has to be flavor. And then when they go to the party where he's introducing himself as Prince Ali, and he's like, "I have jam," and and Will Smith is acting as his servant, and he's like, "Don't do, stop talking, stop talking. No, talk about this. Oh my gosh." And it's just real awkward because he's trying to stop Aladdin from talking so much, and just because the princess is like, "You think I can be bought? Of course." And Will is like, "Oh no, oh no." He goes, "I mean, no, of course you can't, you know." And then they have this feast. I love Will in that. It just, the guy who plays, I really should know his name by now. I apologize. The guy who plays Aladdin have good chemistry. Like, but Will is just the star, just like Robin Williams was the star of the Aladdin cartoon, and Will Smith just did an amazing job. Just the bad part is that, to me, there wasn't a lot of continuity in the movie. It didn't flow well. Yeah, it didn't flow well. And at the end, she's like, you know, "Your sultan commands you to." It was weird. I don't know. And this is her saying, "I'm going to marry Aladdin." But in a joking way, she's like, you know, "Your sultan says to come here," and that sort of thing. With Will Smith as the genie, the movie was really good surrounding his parts and just waiting for his parts to come back, because he had these catchy lines and he was doing his thing, just charismatic. And then away from those times, it was okay. It was okay. Jafar's bird didn't really say that much. Yeah, some lines. Abu was funny in his own way as well. The guy who played Jafar, I didn't mind him. He was fine. Will Smith, yeah, was the star of the show and did an amazing job. I feel like I'm just like, yeah, this was the Will Smith show. But I guess it was meant to be that way, because why do we love Aladdin so much, the cartoon? Because it was the Robin Williams show. So would I recommend you going to see it? Yeah, I would. Just to be honest, this is Thursday at 6 p.m. And the first showing, and there was literally just 10 people there. We counted 10 people. And we were in the IMAX theater, so it was a big theater. But yeah, I really liked it, and Will Smith was the number one reason why. Like, and that was me going in a bit pessimistic, like, I'm not sure, but I'm a Disney fan and I'm going to see it. And especially because it's a part of my childhood. So yes, number one, don't go in there thinking that it is just like the old Aladdin, or you will be disappointed. And number two, you're gonna love Will Smith in this. Yeah, you're gonna love Will Smith in this. And there's a twist in the end, in the fact that, is that a gnat? Yeah, that's a gnat that just, do I have a window open? Oh no, I have bananas. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm like, I'm gonna make some banana bread, so I have overripe bananas, and I was waiting for them to get a little bit riper, but I'm gonna put them in the refrigerator now. Anyway, the fact that the genie, Will Smith, ends up getting married and having kids, and that's who it is in the beginning. And I'm like, oh, okay, these are his kids, and he married her handmaiden. Like, that was cool. I like that, actually. And so he wanted to be human, but the main attraction is Will Smith. I don't do a lot of these, but I want to tell you my thoughts on it. So hope that helps you guys figure out if it's something you want to go see or not. And I will see you guys next time. Baby Raja and I say bye. Bye.